And suddenly the house is on fire. And suddenly the house is on fire. The house is on fire. And suddenly the house is on fire. The house is on fire. The house is on fire. The house is on fire.
Hey everybody, and welcome in. Thanks for coming and joining us tonight. This was not planned or anything like that, but it's been a long time since I have went live on Wide Family Farm, and I figured I should probably do that. So thanks for joining. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate y'all. I really like y'all to come up. So if you can, please do so and come and hang out. I don't have the YouTube chat up, and I will get that up in a second. I'm just a little behind. I have to keep the door open because if I don't, I will freeze to death. So you may see my dogs walking back and forth. But I've been busy today. I did a video for Grow Big TV. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, you definitely need to check it out. I did a cooking video, which I don't really do a whole lot of cooking. Hey, thanks. There's Lewis. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's good to see you. Sorry I haven't been live. You know, after everything that has happened to me since last April, I've just kind of haven't felt like going live. So, but I've also have that side project that I have been doing. There's Smelly Ellie trying to come into my light here. But yeah, but anyway, I been doing the side project with Grow Big TV, and I did a video over there today. It's for the Sunday Fun Day. So if you guys want to go over there and watch, just, leave a comment to register for Sunday Fun Day. So that's what that's about. And I did for the first time, I did chicken chili, and it was really actually kind of good. And it tastes just like a Southwest taste that I so needed. Like, I don't understand it. And my son was smelling it, and he's like, that smell, I know he was thinking that smells like tacos. Like, I know that's what he was thinking. And so he wanted some. So I gave him some, and he was like, he didn't like the chicken, obviously. He didn't like anything that was in it, but he loved the broth. So I gave him that. So he was really excited. But if you can, please go over to Grow Big TV and just watch that video. It's only 4 minutes long. I didn't have the brain capacity today to do a 10-minute video. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't do it today. So hold on, and I'll get into my side chat here. My computer is really slow. I have a lot on it, videos and such, and it's bogging down my computer, and I need to put it in my external hard drive, which I haven't done yet. So that's why my computer's so freaking slow. Hold on, and I can't even find my live. Like, they kind of pushed me out already. I can't even find my live. Not even on the page, y'all.
Hey, Prepper 101. Hey, Ginger Ninja.
Oh, hold on. I haven't even looked at anybody yet. Hold on. Make sure you gotta give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Gray Man has been a member for 31 months. That's a really long time. Thank you so much. Okay, so Marshmallow Man's up here. Grow Big TV. I wonder who that is. It's so funny, you guys, and I use Grow Big TV when I go into a lot of people's chats, and a lot of people think it's Joe. It's not Joe. It's me. But I don't tell them who it is. But it's really funny. Hey Rebel, thanks for coming in. Ginger Ninja, Prepper 101, thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting my channel as always. You're awesome. Shawnee Shab, listening while you work. Okay. Susan, thank you. Thank you so much for continuing to be members, guys, to my channel. This channel is going to do some awesome things this year. And thank you so much for continuing to be members. I really appreciate it. 99 cents a month, guys. That's all it is. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for supporting me and understanding a little bit about what was going on. So I appreciate it. Hendo, thank you for coming in. Let's see. Susan, thank you so much. Who else is up in here? Dark Star. Hey, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in. Thanks, guys. Joe's too busy munching on Batman peppers. I don't know about all that. I ain't munching on no Batman peppers. Oh, cool. Thank you, guys. I wasn't expecting to get this many people in here, honestly. It's been a minute.
Joe.
So, appreciate ya. So, before you know it, it's going to be growing season. Hold on one second. I came here for the gardening, but stayed for Smelly Ellie. Oh, you like the smell, huh? Come here, Smell. Come here. Can you jump up on my lap for a second? I don't think she will. Come here. Can you give me a hug? No? Come on. She's a turd. But anyway, good old Smell. Oh my gosh, and then I got my French Bulldog. This is Winifred. Hold on. Say hi, Winifred. We call her Turd, though. Her name is Winifred, but we call her Turd, don't we? Mm-hmm. Good old Turd. Okay, calm down. All right. So, before you know it, it's going to be gardening season. Holy crap. This year is just went by so fast. Smelly Ellie is not camera shy. She just won't jump up. She's a turd. What's wrong with you, girl? Hello, Tibor. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Garden State so-and-so. Yeah. You know what's funny is I wasn't expecting to get another dog. But she needed, it wasn't really a rescue, but it was a rescue. My husband's dad's neighbor was an older woman and she couldn't take care of her anymore. She was only a puppy and she had like way too much energy for this woman. And she couldn't take care of her. And so she was looking for someone to take her dog. And we said we would do it. It took me a lot of some consideration, to tell you the truth, because maybe about 2 years ago, I put down my I had a giant schnoodle, and he looked like a giant poodle. He was humongous. He was giant schnauzer and poodle mix, but he kept going after my son, and we couldn't have that. So it took me a while to even think about getting another dog. I really love Smelly. She's a great dog, and she puts up with a lot. Like, my son pulls on her and gets underneath her, and she don't care. She's just, she's just such a great dog. And so it really did take me a while before I could even think about getting another dog. But then Winnie came into our lives, and she's been really great with Fred. And that's really all that matters. She doesn't nip at him. She's just real gentle, and Fred loves her to death. It's like, we call her Fred's dog. So unfortunately, he's no longer alive, Prepper 101. And that's that. And it was a horrible situation, but we even gave him multiple chances and stuff like that, but we couldn't have him around my son. My son has too much high energy, and it just wasn't happening. And we didn't feel right giving him away, knowing that he went after my son several times. So, yeah. And so it was just really sad, horrible situation. Let's see. That was the same way I got to my dog that looked just like the little one. She turned out to be one of the best dogs in my life and was awesome with the kids. Oh, that's great. And if you can find a dog that's awesome with your kids, it's a keeper because, you know, my kid, he doesn't understand sometimes and he's really rough. He's really rough. And we watch him. I mean, it's not like we're watching the dogs around him. We're watching him around the dogs. And so we do watch him to make sure that he is playing nice. So, but yeah. Yeah, it's a horrible. Thanks, David Gray, for coming in, by the way. Yeah, dog killers are not cool. I felt really bad because, you know, he was related to Smelly Ellie. He was what they call a B2. My husband just pulled in. He was what they call a B2. And so he was a Schnauzer poodle mix, giant Schnauzer, and his feet and everything. He was just a humongous dog. And he did look like a Schnauzer. He looked like a giant Schnauzer, but with really, really like thick curly hair. It was ridiculous. And he was black. You couldn't see him in the dark at all. He was completely black. And yeah, he was great with us and great with me, but he was not good with kids. And you know, what am I going to do? So, yeah, Smelly Ellie. Sorry, guys.
I had the same thing happen to me with a dog, my very first dog, actually. But it wasn't right in the head, though. And I put it down.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to make that decision, and it's a horrible decision to make. But when you got a kid, it's the kid or the dog. Like, obviously it's going to be the kid. So,
mine bit me over feeding it, and I wasn't going to have that. So, once it bit me, that was it. Because who's it, you know, and who's it going to bite next? You know, is the question.
Right. And I'm not, you know, what's funny is I'm not scared of dogs in any way, shape, or form. Like, not scared of them at all. When I was younger, that's why I do have a scar on my face. You cannot see it, but I do have a really big scar on my face right here from being around dogs. And so I'm not scared of dogs in any way, shape, or form. But when it comes to my son, I was like, nah. Let's see. Yeah, anyway, my husband just came home, so Smelly is barking. Smelly has, like, she's a standard poodle, and she is literally the best poodle dog. I have been around some really nasty poodles that I wouldn't even want around my kids. They're really nasty, but she is just, her personality is just over the top. She is just lovely. She could probably have been a circus performer. She just has a really wonderful personality. And she's been a really great dog. We've had her now for 7 years. So, yeah. So,
yeah. The one I had to put down was part Akbash, part Great Pyrenees. And Akbashes are known for a temper and being a little overprotective. Great farm dogs, great guard dogs, but the Akbashes, they're funny that way. The moment you start try to show dominance, they don't like it.
Yeah. Well, that's good, Shawnee Chav. I'm sorry. I'm just reading as I go here. It's been a while since I've caught up with everybody and what they're doing. And wow, I'm glad that he went back to work. It's light duty now. So, okay. Well, that's good. That's really good. If dogs are nasty, people made them that way. Yeah,
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
This is bull amateur dog trainer.
But not necessarily.
Huh? Okay, are you leaving, David Gray? All right. Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess sometimes, yeah, I don't know. It's hard though once a person has trained a dog to be nasty. Hey, what's up, Kathy Bates? And thank you so much for still being a member. Appreciate you. That's awesome. Thank you. You're awesome. I love you. I don't really know how I feel about that because I know some dogs that are just not right from the very beginning, and there's nothing you could do or say or train in them to fix them. And then, of course, people train pit bulls and everything else to be nasty dogs, and they turn out to be some of the best loving dogs. I've seen it, on TV and everywhere else. So,
this is just my opinion. I've the first dog I got, the one I put down, was a farm dog, and it was on the farm a little too long than it should have been if it was going to be coming to me. Because farm dogs, I don't want to say they're vicious, but if they're protecting livestock, the family owners, like the family, the immediate family that owns the farm, they're great with or decent with, trustable, right? But the moment somebody else comes onto the property, you want to be around one of the owners. Some of them are nice, some of them are great. Don't get me wrong, but there are like the act bashes. You don't want to go near them without one of the owners being there. And it's the breed, right? Some dogs, like you said, pit bulls, Dobermans, certain dogs like that, they can be trained, and it's all in the training too, right?
Right.
Because I'm on my third Great Pyrenees. He's a Great Pyrenees Miramar mix, and he's bitten somebody already. And that was just because he went into my backyard. The guy, right? Don't go in there. It's a guard. It's classed as a guard dog. Unless if I'm around, don't go in my backyard, because that's what will happen, right? My last Great Pyrenees was a suck, big suck, and his father I got from the farmer that I got the first dog off of, and that dog, the father of the dog I had, you could walk up and hug, literally just walk up and hug. Not a harmful bone in the dog's body.
Yeah.
So it's the breed and how they're raised, right? And that's just farm dog.
We have to remember they are animals. Different breeds have different tempers. Yeah, I mean, they're just like humans, I guess you would say. David Gray, I'm sorry if talking about dogs triggered you, but sorry. Hello, Happy Mac. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Kaylin Strain. I have known some Great Pitties. They were protective, but they were all bark. Oh, yeah. I had a pit bull, and I loved him to death. He was my best friend. So I had him. He was a rescue, actually, and I had him for a number of years, and then he passed away. I was very, very upset.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing with my last dog. I had him for like 8 years, and his kidneys failed, and he just dropped in my kitchen, and it broke my heart.
Yeah,
because he was great around kids. He was great around everybody, and I don't think there was a harmful bone in his body, but like the Great Pyrenees, he would protect the property, guaranteed.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny that you say that, Kaylin Strain. My other dog, Mac, he was a pit bull. He was American Bulldog. He would get into mischief all the time, and it was funny. He would do it on purpose. Like this was at our other house, so he would stroll on into the kitchen, and I could hear him clicking on the floor. And he would stroll on in there, and I could hear the lid of the trash can moving, like lifting up. And I would be like, "Are you in the trash can?" I'd be in the other room. I could hear it. And I'd be like, "Are you in the trash can?" I said, "You better get in this living room or you're in trouble." And then I would count. I'd be like, 1, 2. And by the time I hit 3, that dog would be in the living room. It was so funny. We would laugh every time. He was like a little kid. And I'll never forget, I love these apples. I hardly ever get them. It's been a while since I've had them. They used to be really, really big. I don't know what has happened in the size over the past few years, but now they're smaller. But these apples were called ambrosia, and they used to be extremely large apples, and one of my favorites. And I had bought a bag of them. I swear it was like $12 for a bag of these apples because they were so big, and you bought them by the pound. So when you bought them, they were like so expensive. And I bought a bag of them. I'm like, I love these apples. I'm like, they were so worth it. I put them on the counter. And I went outside. My husband came home or something, and I went outside to talk to him for a second. And I came back in, and all of the apples were eaten, all of them, right off the counter. And there wasn't even a trace. Like, I walked through the house, I walked upstairs. There was one core of an apple sitting upstairs. I was so mad. But he was so cute. Like, all he wanted, he loved apples, loved them. But yeah, I was so mad.
I have to be careful with even all three of the dogs I've had, because the first one would jump in. I'd put meat in the freezer, and sometimes I'd put it in the sink, right, to thaw out.
Yeah.
And first dog would jump up on the counter somehow, or get into the sink and take the raw meat. And the other two, because they're such big dogs, and the one I got, he can pretty much put his chin up on the counter. And if I put any kind of meat or bread or anything, I got to keep an eye on him, just because I know that he can reach up there without even trying and take something.
That's funny that you're saying all that, because dogs are so funny. I was trained as young. I was trained as a young one. I still grew up to be a wildcat. Don't eat road apples. No. Dogs are awesome. Yes, they are so smart. And Smelly Ellie is super smart. I had a meetup here at my house, and I had Cosmic Cultivators here, Digs Outdoors, Blue Farm here. Blue Farm flew out all the way from Washington State. I had a bunch of people here at the house, and that night we all went to the local butcher here and got a bunch of steaks, and we're like, oh, we're going to cook them up on the grill. It's going to be a fun time. We cooked them. We were eating. We were having a great time, but we were so full because we had been eating literally all day. We were eating and drinking basically all day. And we're like, oh man, I'm like, I can't eat anymore. So we all left our food on the table and went back outside around the bonfire. Well, we're like, oh, we'll just eat it later. No big deal. Well, somebody left Miss Smelly Ellie in the house, and she was eating all the steaks. So we were laughing, but at the same time, we weren't laughing. Like, who let Smelly Ellie in the house? It was really funny. But not funny at the same time. But everybody was like, we couldn't be mad at her. Somebody let her in the house. But it was really, we had a really good time. Wasn't me. I didn't do it. Yeah, that's funny. And we didn't buy cheap steaks. I don't know what they had. If it was T-bones or Del Montes, I cannot remember, but they weren't cheap. And Miss Smelly Ellie got a high-class meal. It was really funny. But yeah, so tell me in the side chat what y'all been doing, because I haven't really had the opportunity to talk with the Poop Troop very much. So I really appreciate you all for coming in. Wasn't expecting 15 people in here, to be quite honest. But thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us. Steve and Tina Jewel, thank you so much for coming in. Oh, we got some new people. I might have seen you at Grow Big TV. I'm sorry, like, I know Happy Mac and stuff, but there's some people like I don't know, so I apologize. Thank you for coming in, though. I really appreciate it. Grammy Karen, what's up? Thank you for coming in. Oh my gosh, Kathy Bates has been a member for 24 months. That's a long time. Hey, Skinner Farms, thanks for coming in. What's up? A
You
little
still
bit.
baking bread, Courtney?
I haven't in a while, but yeah, I will. I mean, I just haven't in a while. I haven't. Well, I'll tell you why. Okay, I love baking bread. It's great, and I usually like put it by the fire to rise and stuff. But I have been of trying. I really have been trying to avoid eating bread. I've been avoiding eating bread and pasta. I've been trying to be good, and so I haven't baked a whole lot of bread. I do have two 25-pound bags of flour in my freezer, in my deep freeze. But I tried really, really hard not to eat the bread and the pasta because it's not good for me. That's funny.
Well, and I don't know if I should be telling you this. I picked
Uh-oh.
up two cast iron bread things. They're the shape as the tins, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
it's got a lid on it. And the outside is enamel and the inside is cast iron. There's a
Oh, wow.
the bread comes out a bit better in the
Oh, okay.
cast iron than it does in the tin pans.
Mm. Yeah,
So
I don't. That's the one thing I don't have. As far as cast iron's concerned, I don't have the bread loaf pan. And I think it's because I haven't really been making a whole lot of bread, so I haven't felt the need for it. But I do have a lot of regular loaf pans, but I would really like the cast iron one. And I got another cast iron pie pan for Christmas. So now I have two of them, so I can make double pies if I really wanted to and stuff like that. I see you, Howie. Thank you for coming in. I love you a bunch. Thank you for coming in and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. But I haven't had the bread loaf one. And there's several different types of bread loaf things out there. There's one that looks like an egg. And I just haven't done it. And Grammy Karen said she just baked a loaf tonight. Yeah, I do. I have a KitchenAid mixer, which makes it so easy to bake bread. I just use my dough hook and it beats the crap out of it. And it's great. Ooh, look at that. That's different.
yeah, it's enamel on the outside, but
Huh,
it's the cast iron shows on the inside,
nice.
and it's got this lid, so you can. I haven't used the lid for it yet, but I don't know how to do it. It's like a Dutch oven thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do the Dutch oven thing yet. So
Oh, it's not hard. It's just, there's some things like there's some breads, I don't know why, but there's some breads that like keep them moist so they don't turn hard. You can put a pan of water in your oven so it keeps it moist in there. Like there's 100 different ways to make bread. And like when COVID was around, I was making bread all the time because you couldn't find bread in the stores, but people were so stupid and they never bought any flour or yeast. So there was always tons of flour and yeast on the shelves. I'm like, well, if I can't buy the bread, I sure as hell am gonna make it. So that's what I did. And Bob's Red Mill is a popular brand, and they had tons of Bob's Red Mill, and I really like that brand. So I made a lot of wheat bread, and I made wheat buns and everything else. Hey, Stealing Tree, thanks for coming in. And I made a lot of buns too, and I would put rosemary and stuff on the top. And I have a bread recipe that wasn't too bad. You used honey in it, so you made like a honey wheat. It was pretty good, and it wasn't too bad. So, well, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, so
yeah, I picked up on a lot of things during COVID, like and making bread and canning were a
yeah,
couple of those.
yeah,
Needed
yeah.
something to do, right?
Well, making
can't
bread, I had up until like COVID, I never really had made bread before. Well, once again, I try to avoid it. I really do. I try to avoid pasta too, but lately here it's been so easy to buy like a case of macaroni and cheese or a case of pasta and it does last you a long time, and it's cheap and it's easy. Like ramen. Ramen is always cheap and easy. But I'm going to get back to it and not purchase because because the younger people don't know how to make bread. Yeah. Like it was funny. Like you would see tons of yeast and stuff on the shelves, active yeast, and the the flour and all that, and then the entire bread shelf would be completely wiped out. So canning was scarce. Oh, dude, canning here was horrible. Well, this is the part that pissed me off, is I was always into canning even before COVID, and I had purchased all my canning stuff, and I was already starting to can. And then COVID came around, and you couldn't buy any of that stuff. Like even the pressure canners went up to $1,000, you know, and I was just like, man, I'm like, this COVID stuff. I'm like, I even told my husband, I said, just wait. I said, before you know it, all these people who never decided to do this before in their life, they're all going to sell their stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And they said, then we'll get it for half the price. So we did a lot of it.
The funny thing about COVID, I found up here in Canada, okay, it went in cycles of things, okay? Now, I don't know the particular thing, the cycle or whatever, but I remember chest freezers being one of the things. Me and my mom went out to look because mine had just died a couple of weeks before COVID. Yeah. And I was like, okay, whenever I can afford one, I'll get one, right? COVID came along. I said to mother, I need a chest freezer, right? Because like shopping once a month, I can't do this, right? And I'm gonna start gardening, so I needed a chest freezer. And she's okay, fine. So we went out and got me one, and it was a floor model one. Oh. And just right off the floor, I'll take that one. I don't need the box or whatever. We'll just take it like as is in the car, right?
Yeah.
And the following week, my mom was like, I think I might need a chest freezer. Let's go get me one now. It's your turn to help me to get one. And she had to wait 2 weeks for one.
Yikes. Yeah.
And it seemed to, if it wasn't the toilet paper, it might have been the canning supplies. Then it might have been the chest freezer. It might have been this, that, and the other. And it just seemed one thing after another.
Yeah.
Monkey do, right?
Yeah. Well, we got a chest freezer, but it wasn't because of COVID. Dustin's mom decided that she didn't give us a significant amount of a housewarming gift when we moved here. So she ended up buying us like an $800 chest freezer. And it's freaking humongous. And yes, it works for like especially when you butcher, like if you have a ton of chickens and stuff like that and you need space for it, it works perfectly, but it's humongous and it's in our basement. So we were very lucky, but it was very expensive and we didn't understand why she did that. What she did.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 of them. One was given to me because Buddy was moving out of his place and he goes, can you use a chest freezer? I was like, sure, okay. And this was just as COVID was dying down, right? And so I use it for all my garden stuff, like any vegetables. Like I'll put meat in one of them, just meat in one, and then vegetables, cheese, milk, raspberries, strawberries, whatever in the other one.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, speaking of which, I haven't even done anything with it, and I'm still trying to debate. Here's the link if anybody wants to come up. By the way, I saw you how to garden. I'm sorry if I didn't verbally said it, but I did say hello in the side chat. But yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, speaking of which, like over the summer, we had a massive amount of raspberries and elderberries. It was like this year was like the year for all that. Oh, thank you so much, Kathy Bates. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you. Aw. That was like my first super chat in a very, very long time. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But it's been a long time, like since we had a harvest like that. So I froze a lot of my stuff. So right now I have like 16 pounds of elderberries in my freezer. I got raspberries. I told my husband, I'm like, I don't really know what to do with all this. I did want to make jam, But with the elderberries, I wanted to like make something cool, like wine or something, like elderberry wine. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But I still have all that frozen in my freezer, and I gotta find a place or find what to do with it. So
the jam or jelly recipe you gave to me with a whole bunch of sugar,
yes.
I only used half of that amount of sugar.
Did it work for you?
But I used a package of Picton and I made a double batch of strawberry, used half the sugar and 1 box of Picton. And it was still a little syrupy, just not too bad, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to tell you, and it's so hard to articulate over text message, but I wanted to tell you with that, when you're making a jam, whatever pound, like say for instance, this is just an example. When you're making a jam, you don't need pectin because you're not, you do need pectin, but you're going to get it from another form. So you can put lemon juice in there for your pectin, or like say for instance, if the fruit is really high in acid, you don't really need a pectin. So what I did was I like had, say for instance, 8 cups of strawberries. Well, you can use 8 cups of sugar. So you use as much sugar as you do jam. For me, like I always use 1 cup less. It makes me feel better that I'm not using so much sugar. So I'll put like 7 cups in there. Once you do that, you mash them with a masher as you're going, right? And it gets real thick. Well, then you do the plate test. I don't know if you've ever heard of a plate test, but you stick a plate in the freezer, you take it out, and you take a spoonful of that jam and you throw it on the plate. And however that slides down your plate, if it's too runny, the jam is not ready yet. If it's thick running down the plate, it's ready. So then you can go ahead and can that. But you shouldn't only need pectin if you're using strawberry juice. Like you are taking out all the seeds and using, or not pectin, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Sure-Jell. I'm talking about like to make it a jelly form. Yeah. So, so you won't really need a whole bunch of pectin or something like that. You can use lemon juice, and I've used that in the past and it works out just fine. So.
Yeah, it wasn't too runny. I just, from what the store makes it, I'm kind of used to what the store makes, right? And it wasn't exactly like that. Yeah. So that's why in the box of Picton and that and the raspberry jam, just to kind of like make it like what I seen from the stores.
Yeah.
I could be funny that way. Very funny that way. It's got to be like out of the stores. But they were really good. I ate that jam like no tomorrow though.
Yeah. Oh, strawberry jam. One year we have a lot of pick places around here. So I picked a ton of strawberries because at that point I didn't have a whole lot in my garden. I still don't even know if next year I'll get a lot in my garden, but, I can't remember how much we picked. We picked 2 bushels full. And so we brought them home and I'm like, it was like the last day. I'm like, I got to get something going. So I washed them all and put them all in a pot and made a ton of strawberry jam. I don't even know how many jars I had out, but I made a ton. And man, I miss that because it smelled so good and it tasted so good. I love strawberry jam. So this next year, by the way, last year I wanted to make strawberry jam and I was going to go to the pick place to do it. They sold out the day that they opened. They sold out by 9:30 a.m. Like the entire field was already picked. I'm like, I was so disgusted. I was so mad. I'm like, because I was planning on going that day. I was going to go like really early around 10 o'clock and go. And they were sold out before 9:30. I was like, are you kidding me? I was so mad. Hey, Runtles. Thanks for coming.
I got to redo my strawberry bed because I got too many weeds in it. So I might go this year and go find a picking place to go pick strawberries again.
Yeah. It was, Kaylin, it was crazy. I've never seen that place picked out so fast. And I think it's because they didn't have a whole lot planted. Something was up there because I was like, what is going on? I'm like, they normally like have a couple picking days in between. You know, they let the field rest and then you can go on another day, but they didn't even have that. And I was like, I was so mad because that's like my favorite. Hey, Bent Genetics, long time no see.
I think
Thanks
for a little bit, I don't know how long the lockdowns and that have stopped, but I think for a little bit there, or even maybe now, like with certain things, like strawberry picking or whatever, you'll find that it'll go out crazily. Like you can't go pick strawberries because they ran out really quickly.
Yeah.
People are, oh, we can go back out now. We can do this. We can do that, and
Yeah.
you know, like I got over 10 pounds worth of strawberries this past fall, right? And made jam out of it. But like I said, I got to redo my strawberry bed because of the weeds.
Yeah. We had the same issue and it was making me so mad. My mom actually made me mad because I had literally picked the bed 2 days before she came over and looked at our strawberry bed. And she's like, your bed needs picked out. And I'm like, I just did it. I know. Like I had literally just did the bed and before you know it, I had weeds again. It was insane. I don't know why that particular bed was getting so many weeds, but I was tired of it. Towards the end of the year, I was like so mad. And so I'm hoping next year I get some strawberries. They're my son's favorite berry. So I was gonna say fruit. I guess they're considered a fruit. But yeah. Yes, Howie's here, y'all.
Yeah,
Strawberry jam does taste like summertime. It does. It's so delicious. I love it on butter bread. Like you put some butter on the bread with some strawberry jam. It's like the best ever. Hold on, my husband just texted me. No, that's cream cheese.
I gotta start learning how to make pies. I got 2 of those pie things that you got, cast iron things.
Yeah. I made an apple pie in that. By the way, I don't have that crust recipe. It was my great grandma's and my mom didn't give it to me. But I made an apple pie in there. The whole reason, sorry, I have to sneeze, but I don't know when it's going to come. Okay, so the whole point of cooking in a pie pan for cast iron is it gets an even amount all the way around. That's the best way to cook a pie is cast iron because you get the even cooking around the entire pie. So it was delicious. It was the best pie ever because it had that. I don't know if you guys ever made a pie before, but like the crust gets really, I don't know how to explain it. Not caramelized, but it gets like really good. And I had that a lot on some on the ends of my pie, and it was absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh, you guys are from Vancouver? Cool. You and Howie will have a lot to talk about then, for sure. Yes, makes good. Yeah. Hey, Moon. Thanks for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you. Wow, 20 people in this chat. That's amazing. I haven't had that in a while, so thank you guys. I don't know if I will make Wednesday night a thing still. I'm trying not to stress myself out between that, or not really stress myself out, but like burn myself out. Because I do Grow Big TV on Tuesday and Thursday. Wednesday is normal wide family farm time. Like usually Wednesdays at 9:30, but I just don't want to get burnt out. So I will let everybody know when I go live and stuff like that, but I prefer Wednesdays at 9:30. So that's probably what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn and get cast iron stuff as much of it as I can.
Yeah, I have so much of it now. I don't need for anything else. Like I have a huge rack in the kitchen now with all my cast iron on it. And by the way, speaking of which, I have a cast iron wok, and I used that a couple days ago. And the vegetables and stuff turned out perfect in it. I'm still not 100% on the wok. Like, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I just cooked the vegetables like awesome. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I got a lot of stuff.
The other day, I had Amazon drop me off a little 1 liter tea kettle that you can say you got mint or ginger. Like I could dehydrate my ginger,
Nice.
and turn it into a spice, but it's more like a tea spice. Like you can use it for tea, right?
Yeah.
So this thing's got a. Here it is. I'll get it. Here we go. This is what it looks like here, and
oh, nice.
Inside it's got a little lid, and then it's got this thing here for the.
That's really nice. Yeah.
And I got 4 of those 1-shotter tea mugs with it.
Oh, cool.
Like the what the Chinese drink out of. Those little teacups, like the shot teacups. So that's only going to get used when I'm sick.
Yeah.
Because it'll rust inside, and I don't want to have to take care of it any more than I have to.
Right. That's really cool. I've seen those a lot on Amazon. That's cool. And yeah, I don't know who it was, but I was watching, I think it was on Facebook Reels. Somebody made real live ginger ale using ginger. And they had it was ginger and honey and whatever. They had chopped it up and they made a syrup out of it. And then they put a little bit in their glass and then filled the rest up with soda water and made their own ginger ale. It looked really good. I've never had real ginger ale before. I've had real root beer, but not real ginger ale. So I think that was kind of cool. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, the next cast iron thing I'm getting is that barbecue thing you got.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was gifted to me. I love that thing. It's the Lodge Cast Iron Kickoff Grill. And it's awesome. I really want the bigger one too, but that little one, oh my gosh, it made the best food on it. It was so awesome. And we got really into it and started using mesquite and stuff like that, kind of making the meat taste like barbecue and apple wood and putting that underneath with the charcoals. And oh man, it was so delicious. It was really good. Yeah, that's a really cool grill to have. And it comes with 2 handles, so you don't have to obviously try to figure out a way to pick it up when it's really hot and stuff like that. Hey, Rick. Oh my gosh, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, cast iron. Holy crow, I got frying pans. And sometimes handles get heated up that I got to use my canning glove for it.
Oh, yeah. I have a couple of Lodge sleeves to go over the ends. And I definitely want to get more of those because one of these times I'm going to forget and grab the end like I do a regular pan and forget that it's super hot. I'm going to burn the crap out of myself.
Oh, cast iron, when you grab it, it's like you get burned right away.
Yeah.
And I got a wood stove that I had in the other house I lived in, and I accidentally touched it, burned my fingerprints right off pretty much.
Yikes. Hey, good night, Howie. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you. I didn't really have anything planned for the night. This is my first time back in a long time, so thank you guys for coming in and hanging out and everything. I really appreciate it. Grow Big TV is pretty much taking up my time and stuff like that. I still plan on doing this channel. It's just going to be extremely part-time, unless I, decide to do something different with it. But thank you guys for showing support and coming in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I love my cast irons. I have a cast iron pizza pan as well. I just bought a really, really, well, when did I get that? I can't remember, but I got a huge, huge, huge frying pan from Lodge that I can actually make deep dish pizzas in. Oh, you got booted out. I'm sorry, Kaylin. I don't know what happened. YouTube's been acting a little weird, so I don't know. But yeah, Rick, wow, I can't believe you're here. Thank you so much for joining me on my weird channel here. I really appreciate it. If you want to be a member, it is only 99 cents a month. And all my members are called the Poop Troop and stuff like that. So thank you so much for coming in. I bought a Lodge iron pot only a few weeks back. Cool, yeah. I love Lodge. Lodge is awesome. And I buy a lot of mine at, I don't know if you guys have a lot of these where you are, but I buy a lot of mine at Marshall's. Marshall's has really good deals sometimes on cast irons and stuff. So I got a really good deal on some baking pans. I have a cookie sheet now, or a baking sheet from Lodge. So yeah, thanks, Ginger Ninja, showing some support.
They got cookie sheets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have a whole baking section. If you go to Amazon and click on, just type in Lodge cast iron and go to the Lodge cast iron store, they separate it into categories, and then they have a baking section, and they have muffin tins, or they're not tins, muffin things. They have baking sheets. They have, a whole baking section, and they have the bread and the pie pans and all of that as well.
This is good to know.
Yeah. It's really cool.
It's going to piss my mother off. Why are you getting so much cast iron shit? I'm tired of eating Teflon.
That's exactly why we did it too. A while back, we had actually really expensive Teflon pans. I forget what they were called. A Calphalon, I think. And they started like peeling and stuff. And I was like, this is not good. I was really kind of mad about it. And then we started slowly gaining stainless steel. And I started cooking a lot on stainless steel. And then I had bought my first cast iron pan. Or actually, no. My mother-in-law got me a cast iron collection thing. They have like a Dutch oven, 2 pans, and something else in it for like $100 that you can get. And she got me that, and I've been using that. And then my collection is just kind of went from there. But I'm so glad that I got rid of that. And another major change that we made was the fact that we no longer use plastic on anything. So all of my storage containers and stuff like that, or like, say, for instance, I have leftovers, all of that is in glass containers. I will no longer be using plastic of any sort. We are still using plastic bottles for drinking water, that kind of thing. So we are looking for something like a Berkey, right? So we were looking for like a water system that we can reuse cups and stuff like that, glass cups and whatnot. And Berkey I don't think they went out of business, but the filter, where they get their filters or something went out of business. I don't know, but it's really funky. So we were still looking for some kind of water filtration system that we can use all the time. But yeah, I've always wondered if Teflon was what caused so much cancer since people started using it. Microwaves and plastic too. Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, think about it though. Like when you put, like, say, for instance, like a pasta sauce or tomato soup or something in a plastic container and you microwave it, it never comes out of that bowl. It's like forever embedded into the plastic. So it just makes you wonder what all that plastic has absorbed that you can't see. Something to think about. Oh, I was wanting to ask you that, Grammy Karen. Jen and Zach bought us an Alexa Pure for Christmas a year ago and love it. What are like? I'm curious about that. And what is it? A like filtration system or like a filter? Like, are the filters expensive? I'm just curious about that.
Is this like from your drinking, like from your house?
Yes.
In my house, I've got a whole system hooked up into my house here.
Oh
where
yeah.
where I've got 2 filters and a UV light, and I'm supposed to change the filters out every month.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. I wait until I start noticing it at the top, like the pressure starting to drop.
Yeah.
This stuff, the filters in for the house, take out silt, it comes out brown. It goes in white and it comes out brown.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's going on in our house. I have extremely hard water. We do have a water purifier system or whatever, but it doesn't like we still have to use salt for hard waters for salt and stuff like that. And it's not, and the water doesn't really taste all that great. It's not, I don't know. Use it for
Hard
showering
water.
and brushing our teeth, but other than that, it's not really.
There's water softeners that you got to add salt to
Yes.
for your house system, right? And that'll help with the hard water.
Yeah, we use like it's called red out salt or something like that to keep the iron low because we have extremely hard water here and it's horrible. If you
Oh
use
yeah,
iron,
like
yeah.
I've got a coffee pot, the same as my tea thing. I won't use a coffee maker anymore because within 2 months it's toast. I got to buy a new one because of the hard
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. Well, I bought my husband a Keurig for Christmas and we're using bottled water in it or we have distilled water that we put in it because if I would use the house water, it would junk it out. So that's really good to know. Thank you, Grammy Karen, because I didn't know of any other options other than Berkey. So I had no idea that's what that was called. So we'll probably want to look into that and see Alexa system. We'll look that up and see if that's the best. Somebody just sent me an email, which is strange. Who is it? Oh, thank you, Kaylin Strain. Kaylin just sent me all the information about it. Sweet. Thank you. I didn't have to even write it down now. Awesome.
Yeah.
You're like the secretary, Kaylin.
Yeah, Rick, it's the silt, the iron, stuff like that that's in the ground. Like that good chunk of it's silt that goes through these filters, right? But I just imagine what else it's pulling out of there too, going through these filters, right? And it depends upon the filters that you get. The more money the filter costs, the better it'll do, or the more it'll do.
Yeah, Rick. This is my grandparents' house, so even as I remember when we were little, my grandmother always had hard water here, and so it's always been. She even had her own. She would buy like 5-gallon jugs of water and had her own little system. Growing up and stuff, so she even never really ever drank the water. So it's just hard water here. And it sucks. Thank you for sending me that link. I'll definitely look into it because we were considering Berkey, and then we got that message that Berkey is no longer. I don't really know exactly. I don't know if Berkey's out of business or if it was only the European branch or what it was. But either way, we don't want to buy from a company that's potentially going to go out of business. So we just.
When I started watching the prepper channels a few years back when COVID started, a lot of them were saying, get Berkey, get Berkey, get Berkey, right? And I think a lot of people bought Berkey to the point where we just can't keep up with production, or they were found out to not make the Berkeys didn't do exactly what people wanted.
Yeah.
One of the two, and I'm only assuming that they couldn't keep up with their filters or their product, right?
Yeah, something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm glad we didn't get one because the system, even the filters were kind of expensive. So I'm glad we didn't get one. I have a pair of Berkey filter, Spinga, and priming pump, but not the steel tanks. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's what we wanted was the steel tanks, not Berkey's itself. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it was only the distribute. Wow, I can't even talk. The distribution company is the one that went out of business, not Berkey itself. So Berkey didn't go out of business. It was the distribution.
Yeah, probably they couldn't keep up with sales.
Yeah, that stinks. That stinks for a lot of people because, like, I know we looked online and stuff for their filters and you couldn't find them. They were sold out perpetually, like just sold out. And
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
Like I drink the hard water. I've been drinking hard water since I was 10, right? Off of wells. And I swear by well water, you know?
Yeah.
The only
And
thing
we
you
have
gotta-
well water here too, and it's just like this is the second well on this property because the first one was there for like I don't know how long. So they had to go deeper. So this well that we have is 100 feet deep. So
mine's 70.
oh
and
wow.
70, 75. And, you know, the last place I was living in, I didn't have the filter system I have now and the UV light. And the coli got into the well and I got really sick.
Oh wow.
6 or 7 years ago. And since I put in, and I live in 20 minutes away from where I used to live, but still the same kind of area, farmland, where a coli might be known in the groundwater because of the farms. I haven't had a problem with a coli since because of that UV light. It kills off everything.
Yeah. That's
It kills
awesome.
off, I wouldn't say everything, but a lot of things.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I know they use when you're making apple cider and stuff, like they use the UV light for pasteurization purposes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's probably really good to have like on your water and stuff. So
Yeah, like I swear by it because it kills a lot of now I don't know if it'll kill COVID, but a lot of your regular normal well stuff that would come from the ground like E. coli, like chloroform, stuff like that, it kills off.
oh nice.
5 years, 5, 6, 7 years now I've been living here and didn't test the water and I haven't been sick.
Yeah. Local radio station hosts a water softener by a company. Connecto, the difference than Culligan. Connecto doesn't use electronics in it, just the pump and other. Huh, that's interesting. I never thought that I would live almost in the most richest country in the world here, pretty close to it, and like still be searching for better places for water. Like, our water should be so clean. And like, it's so weird because I was watching, I can't remember what movie I was watching. It was a documentary, but they were talking about the best places in the world to get water and how easy and accessible it is. And I couldn't believe it, but it was France. It was France. They have water fountains everywhere. And their water is the best in the world. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
still, after being sick once with water, I still would want a filter system and a UV light hooked up to it.
yeah.
Only because, and if it's like something, you know what I mean, either city water or what I got in this house for the well, right?
Yeah.
It can just coli. I was living at the other place for 5 years before I got sick. Not a problem, nothing, right? But farmland, boom, 1 year it's not there, the next year it's there,
Yeah.
and you never know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Matt, thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate you. It's going. Thank you for coming in.
Even with city water, around the hop, skip, and a jump from me in Walkerton, about 2000, they had a big E. coli outbreak in their water system. And that was because the water treatment plant for the drinking water wasn't doing the job properly, right? And
Yeah, that's horrible.
A lot of people got sick from it, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, so even having a secondary system in your house off of city water, you know, at least you're good, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to have the pipes bleached out, everything.
Thanks, Myra, for still being here. By the way, thank you, Myra, for being here. It's probably like 3 a.m. in South Africa right now. So thank you so much for being here. That's crazy. But thank you so much.
Because the first year I lived here, I didn't know what this beeping sound was, and it was the UV light. And it was like 3 or 4 months before I had it changed, right? And I didn't get sick or anything. That's how good drinking water is where I am for now. But I've had it changed every year since. And when he went to change it the first time, he bleached out all the pipes just in case if there was any of that bacteria still in the pipes.
Yeah, and I would be scared to drink any type of water too if I got sick from water. So I completely understand. Oh my gosh, it's 5 a.m. Holy crap. Hey, Vidra. Thank you for being here, Vidra. Appreciate ya. My city's water plant runs the most expensive nitrate filtration system in the country. Without our water would not be potable. Couldn't even shower in it. Oh my Lord. That's horrible. That's not good. Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm like, we need to get on it. Like other countries like have better water than we do. And I mean, that's just freaking ridiculous. There should be clean water. Like
when you got farms everywhere, right? Spreading manure around, that's E. coli, right? Then you still got all the chemicals and stuff that they're running in their fields, right? Running through that. And it gets into the underground rivers. It hits the rivers. It hits the streams. Because a lot of up here, the fields are tiled. And where they're tiled to is like little ditches that will run through a field, right? The weepy tiles will run there and then they'll go to the roadside ditch. And it's just a matter of, it's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's just a matter of when it'll happen.
Right. Okay, guys. So I've been on for an hour and I have to go because my husband's home and I have to do some things before I go to bed and take my son to school in the morning, which it's going to happen a lot. So bear with me on my channel. So I appreciate you guys. New videos coming out probably a lot here as the planting seasons continues. I'll have more stuff and probably have more videos coming up. And I really appreciate you guys. It was really, really nice of everybody to come in. I really appreciate it. Thursday, we have a guest at Grow Big TV. So I'm really excited about that. And I can't think of the name right now because I'm brain dead. But come and visit us on Grow Big TV tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, it's been a lovely evening, Rick. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And Jeff Sawicki. Don't ask me to pronounce that. How to make money on a homestead farm. That will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be some really good material. So hopefully we'll see you all then. And thank you so much for coming up here with me tonight, Lewis. I appreciate you.
No problem.
And y'all have a good night. And we will see you tomorrow night on Grow Big TV. Bye.
Have a good night.